Good morning, guys. How are we all doing? Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to the new trading week. I'm Dan from Trading with Dan. This is our Bitcoin morning update, where we shall go over to those very dull Bitcoin charts. So yeah, we'll get straight over there for our chart. As you can see, trading sideways in a period of extreme low volatility here, as you can see, towards the bottom side of our descending channel, towards the bottom side of our wider trading range. So yeah, that all being said, is obviously a pretty bearish price action, but like we have been saying, the Bears, they've got to make their move soon. They have got to make their move soon, and they've got to hope their move doesn't get doesn't get swiftly rejected. The Bears will be sat there nervously waiting to smash their big sell orders and push us into this support and then through this support, but they will be a bit basically cognizant of the fact there may be some big bulls waiting there to absolutely slam them in the face when they do so, and hit this market back up. So that's probably the psychology that's going on there. There's probably some of those is it Cathy Woods, some of those other tech funds, supposedly Apple and whoever else, supposedly in inverted commas. I mean, I'll take that one with a pinch of salt, but there will certainly be a certain amount of people below this level wanting to basically waiting for the opportunity to buy. It's just a case of how many and how much they want to buy, and how resolute the Bears are with what they want to do. But yeah, you can see at the moment we are just basically playing a game of chicken. The Bears don't want to sell, the Bulls don't want to buy. The Bears basically are just a bit worried about the bear trap. The Bulls are just waiting to see if the Bears sell, and then they can just buy lower prices and slam them back up. So yeah, we are basically waiting for that move, that expansion of volatility. So obviously we know we have this whole GBTC unlocking thing going on. So yeah, clearly, and there was a lot of net inflows into exchanges, which obviously indicates that people are then going to sell that Bitcoin. Well, the theory is, they are more likely to want to sell that Bitcoin in the market, and then obviously the theory is then they're going to buy discounted GBTC and just play the arbitrage between the two, which is wholly reasonable. So yes, that could certainly happen. But yeah, we are basically waiting. We have got a fresh new trading week here, and I am pretty certain as one can be in trading full stop in these markets, that we are going to get some sort of a move. We are going to get some sort of move, and to be honest, what I kind of want to see is basically a wick below here, and then the Bears to get trapped. The Bears to get trapped as we basically get back above 30,000, make above 33,000, and then yeah. And then be done and dusted with testing the lower side of this range, and then start to have goes at testing the upper side of the range. But yeah, we shall have to see what happens. Ethereum, Bitcoin was looking extremely promising for a period when we did have a nice pump up above, basically through this resistance zone, but obviously swiftly rejected. Couldn't maintain those prices, and we find ourselves back down below the resistance. So clearly that is not a good sign for the overall health. But I mean, you could look at this as we are trying to put in a low here, series of higher lows, and well, I don't think you can call that necessarily. Well, it's on closing basis, it's higher highs. But what I would say is that obviously this is a downward move, and this does potentially look like a rising channel, and this would probably be one of the channels that obviously has a better likelihood of breaking down to its statistically more probable direction, because the direction would be down for a rising channel, and we are off the back of a downward move, as opposed to obviously the Bitcoin one, where we're off the back of a downward move pretty much, and a descending channel which then has to try and break upwards. So yeah, there we go. Ethereum USD as well. It basically is it is trying to It's trying to hold this this next important level. So it will be a case of, I mean, if Bitcoin loses 30,000, then we will certainly come below this level. But if it does recover, start to move back up, we regain this horizontal here. And then, yeah, we just operate within this wider range here and try and make moves over 3,000. DXY, as we can see here, with a 93 handle, so it is making fresh new gains this Monday morning. There is a lot of sentiment within traditional market indices. That we are going to get, we are potentially got a risk here. We're going to get a pullback and some taken profit needs to come in. I think it's Goldman Sachs have apparently sold 25% of their equity exposure via dark pools, as those guys like to do. So obviously that wasn't getting printed on the tape, but they are moving out of 25% is a pretty significant chunk. But yeah, as you can see, dollar index is creeping up. Obviously, if big players are moving out of equities, they are most likely moving into cash, then gets put in various places then, but nonetheless into cash. So obviously that's upward pressure on the dollar. So whilst that is going on, I guess that could explain some of the upward movement. But also just remember the DXY is just the dollar compared to other fiat trash currencies. Call them currencies. They are currencies, aren't they? Trash tokens, basically. But yeah, so it is not necessarily a measure against real things, because we know inflation is going crazy at the moment. A lot higher. I mean, there are lots of things. There are lots of ways that they manipulate inflation, but like a simple example that I've got is that obviously I basically buy bottled water and I can get it from the supermarket. I used to be able to get it at the supermarket for 17p for a big bottle, so it was cheap. I used to buy that. Now that has been out of stock for weeks now, so the next one is 50p a bottle for the same size, so I buy that now. And yeah, they might say, well, you're buying something different or whatever, blah blah blah, but actually it's definitely pretty much the same water, but I'm paying a lot more. Like that has a couple of X's basically, isn't it, above the price. So yeah, there was lots of inflation going on, lots of shrinkflation, lots of covering, manipulating the statistics. So there is a lot of that going on. So what I am saying is, whilst we might look at the DXY relative to other trash currencies, if you want to look at it against real things like what you're paying for stuff, then yeah, I mean it is actually going down. It is going down. I mean, you could just take a look at the chart of oil, for example. We will just go. This will do. Obviously, having a bit of a pullback now, but I mean, clearly this is going up. Obviously, whilst this is obviously going up. So you can see prices going up from like crazy low. I mean, this is just obviously oil is a good thing to look at for general inflation, because it is something we all use directly and obviously indirectly with practically everything. So yeah, there we go. There is your inflation. There is oil, a real used thing, priced against the dollar, priced against fiat currency, and it is on the rise. Therefore, basically, the currency is going down in value against a real thing, but obviously against, well, predominantly the euro. I mean, the DXY is for the most part the euro. And then some of that, then the Swiss franc and the yen and a few others. But yeah, so yeah. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say about that. But yeah, I mean, I mean, the main reason why this going up is bad for markets. Because it is just an indicator of risk off. Because when you take risk off, in crypto markets, we might go into stable coins, into our basically trash. Are they fictitious? Are they even real? Are they backed or whatever? But we move into the stable coins. I mean, in traditional markets, they move into the dollar. That is their stable coin. That is their dollar. That is yeah. So there you go. Bitcoin dominance, flirting around here with our resistance level. So it is deciding. I mean, potentially pennant here, bull flag. Maybe are we going to break up towards 50%? Maybe. or we're going to pull down. I mean, a lot of it will depend on what Bitcoin does and also how it does it as well. I mean, if it does take an absolute rip to the upside, then yeah, altcoins won't keep up. If it just grind out slowly build confidence, get back to 32, 33, 34,000, back towards 36 on a more slow gradual basis, which I don't necessarily expect to be the case. I mean, yeah, Bitcoin dominance might obviously then be able to come down as altcoins can react in a more orderly fashion. What else do you want to look at? Stock market futures, they are obviously having a nice pullback here. It's just a pullback, bro. Don't forget, everyone likes to buy the dip in stocks. But yeah, having a pullback here. I mean, not getting far off levels that could be problematic. We'll actually draw some on here. Just because they're pretty obvious, to be honest. I mean, it's basically where we are now and basically here. Get below this little box and yes, sustained downward price action will be on the cards. And that obviously will not be, well, it most likely, almost definitely will not be good for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. So yeah, there we go. Lose this, and we are not going to be looking too good. Obviously, we've got a few levels. We're not necessarily going to draw them in. But yeah, needs to realistically bounce in this zone and start to move back up again. And then yeah, but obviously the DXY is putting, well, I say the DXY, I mean, it's like a chicken and egg scenario, selling stocks to buy and going into dollars. Or is it they're going into dollars and they're selling the stocks? I mean, clear chicken and egg. But either way, it's risk. It is risk off. So yeah, not much else I wanted to look at on here. In fact, gold. In fact, we will look at gold because obviously gold is a potential risk off asset, but it is getting pulled back as well. So yeah, there we go. Stochastics. What are they looking at? We did not look at them over the weekend, but the 4 hour, yeah, downward pressure from the 4 hour, 10 hours. Clearly, I mean, we haven't looked at a few days, but it's got to be looking weak here if it wants to load up. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it has come down, tried to make a move up, but has turned back down, so not looking great. 12 hour turning back up from a very low level, as obviously much as the 10 hour did, but has, well, it is not really, no, it is basically yeah, turning back down. But yeah, 12 hour turning from a low level. Can this get going? Turn the 12 hour back up and get us moving. Daily also very extremely low levels here in the daily. I mean, where have we been this low before? March 20 day. So yeah, daily very low. Obviously potential to turn back up. 2 day doing its thing where it is. 3 day has turned down now. This was all what was kind of looking okay for us in the higher time frame stochastic, but that is now down. 5 day down and very weak looking. Weekly down and very low. So I mean, yeah, bi-weekly diving and monthly coming down. So I mean, basically we are very low and very beaten up in those stochastics. So I mean, that will be giving you the bears obviously the worry about just FOMOing into their shorts here, because we could have a very nice bull trap easily towards 60,000 if this basically does hold here. We get that wick below, pull back up, start to make bullish price action. Maybe we get a bit of a sell-off in that DXY as well. We can certainly one last leg up in star markets. We could easily find our way into this zone here between 50 and 60,000, especially with these high term stochastics, and that could be the sell, that could be the exit to get out. Remember, if you're a bull, do you want to sell at 30,000 or do you want to sell near 60,000? I mean, you'd probably want to sell, if you're a bear, you'd probably want to sell at a 2x higher price. So yeah, we've got some interesting dynamics going on in the market here. We are basically playing a game of chicken, I think, with big players. Is the bull market over? Are we coming lower and into a prolonged bear market, or is this just going to be testing everyone's mettle? Are we going to turn back up? And then, well, yeah, I mean, even if we do only get into the 50, 60,000s, that would be for people that obviously hold down here and accumulate. That would clearly be a big payday. So is that what is going to happen? And then obviously there is also that that old that old chance of all-time highs and onwards and upwards. I mean, obviously we know Plan B's model, stock to flow model, indicating prices of $100,000 this year. So only a 3x from here. 3x is not much. Remember, we were trading around $8,000 to $10,000 for a while, and then we went to over 60,000. So that is obviously more than a 6x. So 3x from here, not out of the question. Gets us towards 100,000. But I mean, then what happens? Then what happens? We shall see. But either way, that is just clear, just a thought experiment. But yeah, there we go, guys. Remember, this is not financial advice. This is this person here is not a financial advisor. That's it. And I shall speak to you guys soon.